Shalom. Shalom. We are back. We are today dealing with day 23. 23. This is the beginning as the sun is going down. The beginning of the 23rd day of the Omer count. We're talking about three, hold on. Yeah, 3 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. This week we are dealing with Netzach, which the thing that we want to focus on with Netzach is endurance. If we're talking about heading towards the goal, if we're heading towards that light that's in the distance that we're traveling towards, we're dealing with endurance. We're making it to the goal, right? So that's what we're dealing with this week. Now, today we're dealing with Gevurah in Netzach. Gevurah, which is strength, it's might. It takes might to hold back, right? So we could say that Gevurah is temperance. We think about temperance, there's restraint involved. So Gevurah is restraint. When we look at these things that are incorporated in the aspects of what it is, what Gevurah means, we can just call that discipline. We can say that Gevurah is discipline, it's restraint, it's temperance, it's knowing how much to give, how much to hold back, discipline. So if we think about endurance, we think about discipline in endurance. Think about things that you are able to do. Think about times that you display endurance. And what are those things? What are those things that you're able to display endurance in? I think that when we mix the two aspects of discipline and endurance, we can decide what it is that we're going to use our endurance in, right? Say if we're, I got kids who play video games, right? And they can sit down and play video games for as long as you let them play those video games. They got much endurance. But is there discipline in the endurance? Can they take those same attributes and put those same things towards something else? When we talk about the idea of endurance in discipline, we have to be able to focus our efforts into something that's worth something, right? We know that there's something that we are able to exhibit endurance in, but the question is that thing doing something for the kingdom? Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, right? We can't even just leave it just wide open and say something that's worthwhile, but is it for the kingdom, right? So let us think about, where we exhibit endurance And are we you know, doing things, mightily for naught, basically. Let us try to, you know, do a little inventory of your situation, right? And try to pinpoint your efforts into something that's for the kingdom, right? Because we can be busy about things, all over the place, right? But we have to focus our energies. We have to take these, this, our energies that the Father has given us and use them for His purposes, right? So if we're talking about disciplining our endurance, we're talking about focusing our energy and pointing it towards the kingdom and the things that pertain to the kingdom, and using our energy for His purposes. Okay, so that's something that can be focused on for day 23. All right. All right. Count. Shalom.